Dr. Farley, you mentioned CODEX earlier. Talk about what that is and what some of the ramifications could be under certain scenarios.
Worst case scenario, the United States is losing its freedoms every day. Most people aren't aware of it. I was brought to Costa Rica as an example to treat a patient there.